New to Pioneer's lineup is the DMH-2000NEX. This double-din touchscreen car audio head unit comes with some premium features without the premium price. We're going to go over all those features, do an unboxing and a demo for this recently released radio. So hang out. Hey, what's up? Josh here from Breakers Stereo and Performance. Welcome to our channel that reviews all the best in car audio, performance, suspension, and more. Because we don't drop stock. Help us get to 100,000 subscribers by subscribing to this channel. So these model numbers actually stand for something. They're not just some random numbers and letters that manufacturers put together for no rhyme or reason. So the model number in this case stands for Digital Media Head Unit, second in the current lineup with the Networked Entertainment Experience software, DMH-2000NEX. And FYI, if you see a W in a Pioneer head unit model, it stands for Wireless CarPlay and Wireless Android Auto, like the DMH-W3000NEX. Okay, so now you know. Now, as mentioned earlier, this radio does have some premium features that the previous generation did not have at a lower price. Now, these features include iDataLink Maestro compatible, which is the ability to display car information on the display of this radio when paired up with the Maestro RR or the RR2 module, along with the correct harness for your vehicle. Now, please note, this feature is only available for newer vehicles starting around 2012 and up. And the other feature is the built-in HD radio, which is going to give you better sound quality when listening to FM radio as long as the station you're listening to is broadcasting in HD. Okay, and currently the price on this head unit is only $369. Now this has a 6.8-inch capacitive touchscreen, 800 by 480. You've got buttons on the side that we'll go over here in a minute. USB playback not only plays high-res audio files, but video files as well. Built-in Bluetooth for hands-free calling and music streaming. And again, built-in HD radio. Smartphone features include Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but wired only. Voice command, which will use either Siri or Google Assist, depending on your smartphone. And this has the NEX software, including all the audio processing, such as a 13-band graphic equalizer, switchable built-in crossovers, two-way standard or three-way network mode, and time alignment. You can also add a Sirius XM tuner to this, tuner sold separately, steering wheel control ready, module sold separately, and this has a backup camera input along with a rear audio video input through a 3.5mm jack that you can use for a front camera if you wanted to. Now this does have video output through an RCA and 6-channel preamp outputs front, rear, and sub at 4 volts. Built-in amplifier is 14 watts times 4 RMS or 50 watts times 4 peak. Okay, that'll do it. Let's unbox. All right, so we got front and rear RCA, again, 4-volt pre-out. Aux input, including audio and video, through a 3.5mm. This is the USB-A extension. You got some hardware, this really beefy navigation antenna, Bluetooth mic, rear camera input, and then the Sirius XM input. Manual, warranty card, and harness. All right, so this is not a shallow double din as it was years prior. This has an L-shaped chassis to it, so you got a single din basically on the bottom, and then it extends out as a double din. But no worries, if you've got, double din opening, it's gonna work just fine. It'll bolt right up to your kit. All right, so let's go ahead and take off the front of this. On this side here, we have buttons that will light up. Once we light it up, you'll see. And I would say this thing is made pretty well. Some of the lower end Pioneers from the previous years, I would take them out of the box. I would go, man, this is kind of made cheaply. This is actually made a little bit better, so I do like that. All right, let's fire it up. All right, so this is your home screen here. Let's go over the buttons here on the left. That's the home button. This activates the mic for voice command. And then this will switch it from the Pioneer partition to Apple CarPlay. So if we tap that, that goes to CarPlay. That goes back to the Pioneer partition. Then you have volume up and down. Okay, so let's just check out sources real quick. So of course we have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Web Link. So that's an app that you can download for either iPhone or Android. Then that will allow certain apps to work on the face of the screen. Now keep in mind, you're not gonna be able to do Netflix or Hulu, but it will do YouTube. Okay, then you have phone. Then this has that HD radio built in. Bluetooth, the USB. Again, USB will do high-res audio files and video files. Sirius XM ready, auxiliary. And then the second page, you have your camera view, display, source, and then settings. All right, so let's go into settings really quick. So this is the NEX software. If you're familiar with it, it's all the same across the board. So you can go to system settings. There's a lot to adjust here. Most of this is self-explanatory. I do see on here your picture adjustment. So this is nice. I know on some of the lower end radios, but they won't allow you to see what you're actually adjusting. So that's nice because it gives you the ability to see what you're actually doing on the screen, okay? So that's a great feature. All right, so let's take a look at the display settings. You have illumination, okay? You can choose whatever illumination you want here, and that includes the buttons here. You have your background, all right? So you're able to use these preloaded backgrounds, and then you have the splash screen, which you can import if you wanted to. You can put whatever image you want on the splash screen. Okay, next, audio and EQ controls. So here you have your balance, your fade, loudness, on or off, speaker level. From here, you're able to adjust each speaker individually. So if you want more on the front left, you can do that, or on the front right, you can do that. Okay, so it kind of balances it out on each individual speaker. On listening position, there is some presets here, okay? Front left, front right, okay, and then all. Okay, next let's go to time alignment, on or off. Now you can, again, choose a position if you like, right on here, and it will give you some presets. If you don't want to do the measuring, I recommend doing the measuring. It doesn't take that much effort in order to do it. Grab a measuring tape, and in this instance, if we're adjusting the front left, measure from the center speaker to the headrest position, okay, and then adjust accordingly. And then you would just do each speaker individually, including the subwoofer. On the touchscreen here, it is a little bit delayed, so the chipset is not quite as good as some of the other higher end units, but for 369 bucks, you know, tough to complain about something like that. So we can just get over that. Not that huge of a deal. All right, so let's go to EQ. You have some preset EQs here. On custom, you can just pick the frequency you want and then move it up and down, okay? I want to point something out here so you can see that it's not as responsive as we would like, okay? But for 369 bucks, you know, it is what it is. Okay, now let's go over crossovers really quick. Turn your crossover on, mine's on already. And then you have a couple of these slopes here, okay? So each of these slopes actually represents either the front, the rear, and the sub. Okay, so this right now is highlighted for front. Okay, so if you want to adjust it, what you're going to do is you're going to grab the line, okay, and then this adjusts the slope. So you can choose from 6 dB, 12, 18, or 24. When I move it, it changes the crossover point, all right? So if I want to go lower, I'll go lower. Okay, down this way, and that can go 25. You got a bunch of different crossover settings there, but that's how you adjust that. So that's the rear. This is the front. So on the front, again, just if you want to grab the slope, you can grab the slope and move it, and then the crossover there, okay? All right, so normally crossover between 80 and 100, depending on what mid you have. And then the crossover slope is completely up to you. If you want it to drop off quicker, then you can select 24. If you want a little more bass out of your mids, or if your mids can handle a little more, you can also do 12. Okay, a 6 is probably not steep enough, but 12 is good. I like 12. And then I would set 12 here as well. So the crossover for the subwoofer, okay, you just grab that line there, okay. You can see we're on subwoofer now, and then again, you can adjust crossover slope, 6. This actually goes deeper than 24, or steeper than 24, I should say, to 36, okay? So that can really get that to drop off, and then you just move back and forth for the crossover point. Okay, I think 36 is a little too steep. 24 is good, either 24 or 12, that's what I would recommend doing. Okay, so that's crossover. And then, yeah, bass boost, I recommend if you're running amplifiers, leave that at 0. If you're running off the power of the radio, maybe 1 or 2, I wouldn't go too much higher than that. Okay, all right, perfect. All right, so if we go to Apple CarPlay, I'm gonna show you guys this. This is actually much more responsive on the touchscreen when you're in this mode. So you can see it goes right to it. Everything swipes like it should. It loads like it should. It's very responsive. So in CarPlay mode or in Android Auto mode, you're not gonna have any problems there. It's gonna be much quicker than it is when you're in the Pioneer partition. Okay, that'll do it for the demo. Pros and cons list, starting with the pros. Of course, iData Link Maestro compatible, HD radio, and 6-channel 4-volt pre-outs. And the only con is the slower chipset, which is not as responsive as we would hope. Nevertheless, a pretty decent radio for $369. We're gonna give this radio a 4.5 star rating. If you're local, come in for a demonstration and see what else we can do to improve your car audio system. If you're shopping online, check us out at breakersstereoandperformance.com. FYI, we do have financing available. Simply add your products to the cart, pick a financing option, get approved, and we'll send your gear out to you ASAP. Okay, that's gonna wrap it up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Again, help us to get to 100K subscribers by subscribing if you're not subscribed already. Okay, we'll see you guys next time.